Hello folks, this is Sewell speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. So this is a little bit of a different video here. This is a look at the temporary game mode, set 3.5 Revival Galaxies, as it says up here. As I said, it's a temporary game mode, which has brought back set 3.5, which was the Galaxy set, for a limited period of time. I think it's going to be around for 2 patches, which is about 4 weeks. So this is a chance to kind of go back in time and experience an earlier set with some changes to it. This is actually one of my least favorite sets. I was not a big fan of set 3. One of the sets that I played probably the least out of all the sets. But I did figure it was worthwhile to go ahead and take a look at it here. All right, now changes from when set 3 was around initially. Set 3 basically had the portal mechanic that was added in set 9 and has continued over to set 10, in the sense that at the beginning of each game, you would get a certain galaxy that had a unique effect to it, which is basically what the portal mechanic is. Back in set 3, though, there was no voting on different options. Everyone was simply assigned a galaxy at the beginning, and you had no say whatsoever. You would just be assigned something, and that's what you would get. Also, some of the galaxies were pretty poorly balanced. I'm not going to lie, and it was very frustrating having sometimes to play in a galaxy that was like heavily reroll focused, or the one where everybody would get a 4-cost unit off the starting carousel, and who could click the fastest in the first 10 seconds of the game would largely determine who won or lost. So as I said, some of this stuff was not very well balanced, but they have replaced them with portals. Some of the portals have carried over from set 10. So there are some that are unique just to this game mode. They all seem to have a lot of loot to them. So, for instance, the one that we got here was Prismatic Finale, so the third augment's going to be Prismatic. I don't love that, but some of the others are actually even worse. I got another one that was unique to this game mode that just had absolute loot everywhere, and I did not particularly enjoy playing it. Anyway, so enough of that. Let's get back into some of the set 3 gameplay here. So the theme of this set was basically space, sci-fi. I did not particularly like this. As I said, I was not a huge fan of set 3, largely because all of the portrait art was really difficult to distinguish from one another. Now, I've played enough TFT by now that I'm kind of used to the sets having just like ridiculous, crazy skin-based artwork, but it really felt like almost everything in this set was League of Legends character with a sword or League of Legends character with a gun. Like they all were in a futuristic outfit, and they either had like a laser sword or a gun, and they all looked the same. So many of these champions look the same in this set. I have played this set before, so I have some familiarity with the portrait art, but yeah, I did find it to be kind of annoying. Now, one thing that was not present in set 3 was augments. They have been brought over to the set from later sets. Augments have been around since set 6, and this mechanic has just basically been copied over wholesale from the current set, which is set 10 as I'm recording this. So yes, there were no augments originally when this was first played, but they have been added into this game mode. I have gone ahead and taken Harm Assist. So if you're curious, most of the augments are basically the generic ones. I don't know if they have some that are specific to the like traits and units that they have, but mostly they're just all the generic ones are present here. So like Harm Assist is a generic augment. Your units heal for a percentage of the damage that you do. There actually is a trait in set 3 that basically does the same thing, which is Celestial trait. But I have Harm Assist here, and I thought that Harm Assist was the best option out of the various different things that I had here. Because I have an initial Caitlyn, I thought that it would be nice to maybe play into a sniper team competition, because I've got the Kate here, 2-star Kate, and then I could just kind of like put some tanky units around the Kate. So I managed to hit a 2-star Malphite. When I see that, I was like, all right, well, I'll switch my one tank item, this vest, from the Poppy over to the Malphite. And basically, I'm just going to play a whole bunch of tanky champs in front of the Kate and rely on the Kate to actually kill things here. So got 2 Brawler in. Brawler is one of the frontline traits in this set. The main ones are Brawler and Vanguard, from what Brawler, Vanguard, and Protector. There's basically 3 in this set. Brawlers is they gain bonus health, so I think there's been Bruisers or Brawlers in a whole bunch of these. They just get flat health. Brawler trait, I'm looking at the cheat sheet here. I have no idea if this is accurate to what they're doing in this revamped version, but the cheat sheet says Brawlers get 350 bonus health. Vanguard's the other trait I'm going to be looking to play through. They get extra armor, so they get bonus armor. The cheat sheet says Vanguard 2 is 125 armor. That is only on the Vanguard champs. That is not shared with the rest of the team. By the way, Kate gets super low here, but does manage to survive just barely. I think I had this fight anyway, but just barely manages to clutch that one out. And by the way, I remember to buy the Leona at like the last second. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look to play a Vanguard unit on level up, so I can have 2 Brawler, 2 Vanguard. And then I also have 2 Chrono in. Chrono was a fun trait in this set. I actually did like this one. This is an attack speed based trait. It gives the whole team attack speed. All allies gain 15% attack speed, and they gain it every X amount of seconds. Chrono 2 is every 8 seconds, and then higher ranks of Chrono, you get that 15% attack speed more frequently. I think it then goes down to 4 seconds and then 2 seconds or something like that. So stacks up attack speed very fast, which is pretty interesting as far as traits go. All right, anyway, so like I said, I'm relying on the Kate. Kate has been in a bunch of the sets. I think this might have been the first set she was in, but she's been a reprint in a whole bunch of sets. When her mana bar fills up, she like lines up a shot, and then she does like a very heavy damaging attack to a single target. She's and you see someone saying, "Oh God, Blitz does exist again." Yes, the Blitzcrank hooking one unit at the start of the fight is very much in this set. People who played Blitz has been in like 3 or 4 different sets with that ability. But yeah, Kate's been in a bunch of them too. She has very high mana cost, but when her mana bar fills up, she will line up a shot and then deal heavy single target damage. It's good for the early game. As you'd expect for a 1-cost unit, it falls off pretty hard as the game goes on. But I figure she can hold early game items. And I'm actually going to build items that are intended not for her, but for a future Jhin. Because Jhin is usually the main carry that you want to build in a Sniper's team composition. Interestingly enough, though, I'm mostly kind of building AD items, which are not a tremendous fit on Kate, because she actually does magic damage in this set. That's changed from set to set. There have been some sets where she dealt physical damage, but in this set she actually deals magic damage. So, like I said, not a great fit on her, but I'm going to make the Giant Slayer. That's going to be a good item on a future Jhin. And she can just hold sniper items. I also will level and put in the Leona, I think I have. Leona's an early game Vanguard champion, so she will have the additional armor, and she will also give additional armor to my other Vanguard unit, which I believe is Poppy that's in there right now. Yes. But since those units are 1-stars, I just have them in the corners. They're basically sitting there to be Blitzcrank hook bait. So yes, I have played these old sets. I am familiar with where to position. Note that this person's 2-star Caitlyn just gets hooked at the start of the fight. So they just lose the fight instantly because they did not position for Blitzcrank. That was very common here in these earlier sets. Positioning is extremely important. Significantly more important than in set 10. I will say that in set 10, if you have a higher quality board, you usually win. In this set, in set 3, you can win or lose fights very heavily based on positioning. Like, a much weaker board can win if the positioning is not correct, and if you have not adjusted to match the team that you're going to be up against. By the way, in set 3, when it was played, did not have the little indicator on who you were going to hit next. You know, the little, here are the 3 opponents you might randomly get matched up against. So you just had to look at the top of the interface on who you had hit recently and try to guess who you would be up against soon, because, as I said, that was a feature added in, I believe, set 6. It was either set 6 or 7 added that at some point in time. But anyway, point taken. A lot of these fights I can win or lose just based on the randomness of positioning in the fights. Like right here, my Kate sneaks and ults through and hits the other team's Kate, and that basically wins me the fight right there. It's a little silly to have RNG determining this much of how the fights play out, but again, it was an earlier set, and a lot of this stuff had not been designed. Had not gone through as much design iteration as the more current sets. So yeah, there was some kind of silly stuff in there. All right, I find a Vayne in the store. That's nice. That's going to allow me to put Vayne on the board to get Sniper Trait in play. I actually have not had Sniper Trait in thus far. Sniper Trait has been in some other sets as well. It's been reprinted, I think, 1 or 2 other times. Pretty straightforward trait. Snipers deal increased damage for each hex between themselves and the target. So the further away the enemy is, the more damage they deal. And I am going to be looking to play a sniper-based team composition. The cheat sheet says Sniper 2 is 9% additional damage for each hex of distance, and Sniper 4 is 16%. Increased damage. So if you're hitting somebody 5 hexes away with Sniper 4, 5 times 16, that's 80% additional damage. So it does add up pretty quickly. Here I'm going to get a glove, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to look to make a Last Whisper here, which is going to be a good item on Jhin later on down the road. It's important for me to try and get Jhin items, because that's the unit I plan on playing through down the road. So even though, again, Kate deals magic damage, she doesn't want physical damage, I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that. I've also managed to pick up a Vi here. Vi is another brawler. She's a 3-cost brawler, so you would say normally, well, I should probably try to take out one of my 1 and 2-cost brawlers to get her on the board. But Malphite's my only 2-star frontliner, so I don't want to take him out because he's a 2-star unit. Even though he's a 1-cost unit, he is 2-starred. And then the Blitzcrank's actually important because he's giving me Chrono Trait, and I do want to have that Chrono Trait in. So I don't really have a slot for Vi. I could play her if I was going to go into a Cybernetics build. She's actually a pretty nice unit in this set because Brawlers, solid frontline, although as I said, it does fall off in the late game. And then Cybernetics is a fun trait. There's actually quite a few good Cybernetics units, but I'm not going to be going the Cybernetics route in this match. By the way, look how much damage Kate did. Did 5,000 damage in that fight. So yeah, she's hanging in there and doing a great job. Also synergizes nicely with my Harm Assist augment that I took initially because Kate deals that huge burst of damage. She heals for a decent amount every time she ults. Also, I see Young and Wild and Free as a carousel option, so I was like, oh, I will definitely go ahead and take that because I am the only person that's on full win streak, so I'm expecting that I'm going to be last pick on the carousel, so why not be first pick on the carousel instead of last pick? This means if there's any spatulas, I get first grab at them. Now, I don't think that this is a team composition that particularly needs spatulas. This is not a vertical team composition like Rebels or like Star Guardians, which I believe both have makeable emblems. It's not like that, but, you know, I can probably do something with a spatula. If I can even remember what the spatula items are in this particular game, I could probably do something decent, though. Let's see. I could probably do Celestial Trait. Make a Celestial emblem. That's one of the makeable ones. I actually have to look at the cheat sheet to remember what they are. Yeah, it would probably have to be that one. I guess I could also do Dark Star because Jin has the Dark Star trait. Maybe I could get Dark Star trait in play or something like that. But anyway, you get the idea. So Kate is still main carry. So far, we've been winning these rounds pretty easily. I think only 1 or 2 of them have been close. Now I have Ashen as well. Ash deals magic damage. She basically fires her ultimate from normal League of Legends. Oh, by the way, there's a Jinx here. I was actually kind of shaking my head when I saw this because I had done another game just right before this one where I was playing a Rebels and Blaster team composition. Jinx is the main carry in that. I actually had a video from way back in the day in Set 3 where I made 3-star Jinx in like my first game of Set 3 when it first came out. So I always remember the Jinx for that. But anyway, I played a game right before this and I was like, oh, cool, let's do the Blaster setup with Jinx, Rebel Blaster Jinx. Well, I went to level 8, I was win streaking, and then I rolled like, I don't know, 70 gold and didn't find any. I think I found 1 Jinx on like 70 gold rolled, even though she was completely uncontested in the lobby. So I was like, all right, can't seem to find Jinx, so that turned into a 4th place when it probably should have been better than that. But in this game, Jinx is just right there immediately. I was like, all right, well, I'm definitely not playing Jinx in this setup. I can't beat her, but I'm sure beating everybody else thus far. And now I get to use my Young and Wild and Free, so I will get to be first pick on this carousel. I also did manage to end another player's win streak in that last round, so that's quite nice. I'm just waiting for everything to load in so I can see what's on here. There's a Jinx on the carousel. I don't want that. There's a Jin on the carousel. I do want that. So even though the bow is not quite the item I want, I actually want more stuff that builds out of swords right now because snipers really would benefit from getting some more swords items. I mean, yes, I have the Giant Slayer. Or just frontline. My frontline is pretty sad right now. I have 1 vest on a frontliner and no other defensive items. I have to take this Jinx. Wow. I have to take this Jin and Jinx. And that does 2 things. One, it gives me a unit that's going to be really good in my comp. And the other thing that it does is it just denies the rest of the field a Jin. Because if no one else gets Jin off carousel, they're going to have to find it in the shop. And hey, I'm on an 8-match win streak, so let's just level and play the Jin. Does not make any additional traits, but, you know, who cares? It just puts another sniper on the board, and Jin is going to be my featured unit later on. So I am hoping to go up to 4 snipers. I actually do have 4 snipers right now, but I can't get them on the board until level 8. Like, I have that, what is it? I have that Vayne sitting on my bench. God, it's hard to tell these units apart in this set. The visual clarity in this set is atrocious. It is so difficult to see the units. By the way, here's another person who just flat out loses the round because their Kate gets grabbed instantly. Yeah, I think I still would have beaten them anyway because they're only level 5, but like they just instantly lose because they get their Caitlyn grabbed at the start of the fight. As I said, this is a very punishing set on positioning. If you screw up the positioning, you're just done. Anyway, yeah. So like I said, the visual clarity in this set I think is just atrocious, and it is so difficult to tell units apart. Like, I have a Bard and a Nautilus on my bench right now, and they really look alike. They're both person in futuristic spacesuit, and you can't see any features of them. I guess Bard has, like, his horn I guess, and Nautilus has his pickaxe or whatever that thing is, but they look a lot alike. So, as I said, not a big fan of this set. Okay, so I'm looking at the different team compositions. There is someone who's playing an Infiltrator's board that I could potentially hit. So I'm going to box up my units in the corner. I also saw nobody had a Blitzcrank this round that I could potentially be up against. So I'm going to box in the corner for that potential Infiltrators. Infiltrators are the assassins of this set, by the way. They're just have a slightly different name. It was super important I win this round because we're about to go into a minion round, and I really, really, really want to preserve win streak. So that's why I'm scouting so hard. By the way, Syndra just absolutely takes out my poor Caitlyn, but we win the round anyway. And that person is level 6, 0 gold, so they are dead man walking, and they're about to be out of this lobby, which I am okay with because those Star Guardian boards are pretty good at sniping back lines, which I do not want with the setup that I'm running here. Anyway, back to default positioning here. Part of the problem with the set, like I said, it's a very positioning-based set, but a huge issue is if you hit an Infiltrator's comp, assassins, they jump to the back line at the beginning of the fight. If you are not boxed up in the corner, they will just kill your carries instantly. So you can really lose some of these fights just immediately based on the RNG of who you're up against. And it's very frustrating, very, very frustrating, because you never know exactly who you're going to be up against, right? There's always some RNG in terms of who you're up against. Whether there's a Xerath here, but does not fit this board. If I were going into a Darkstar setup, I could certainly play him. And maybe I should have looked to pivot in that direction, but I honestly didn't really know what I was doing. So I was like, I'm just going to play this sniper setup. I have a decent sense of how to build this. And I'm on full win streak, so I'm just going to level to level 8 right now. And I figured, you know what? This is going to cost some econ, but if I can continue bullying the lobby and continue win streaking, then I think that makes sense. It puts 4 snipers in play, so it definitely makes me stronger. All right, so now we're up against another one of these boards. I think they're trying to play like Cybernetics Blade Master from what I see. But, I mean, what they have doesn't really look that strong. Again, this is not a ranked game. There actually is no ranked game mode here in the Set 3 revamp version. So, yeah, the player skill level is kind of all over the place. And some of the opponents in these matches are maybe not as strong as what I'm used to seeing in some of my other matches. That person, Fuming, definitely looks strong, though, so I'll have to keep them in mind. But I'm on a full win streak, 11 rounds in a row, so far so good. And, last augment prismatic. We knew it was going to be because remember our initial portal said the last augment was going to be prismatic. So I'm looking here, Lucky Gloves. I would take this if it were earlier in the game, but I think it's late to take this. I mean, I could always double up on Harm Assist, but I actually had the idea to take Prismatic Ticket here, and I think it makes sense for a couple reasons. I'm going to try to go through the logic of why I wanted this here. So number one, I'm already level 8. I don't have to do any more leveling. I'm already level 8 here. So I'm already in a situation where I'm going to be doing a fair bit of rerolling. So I thought it would make sense to go ahead and just take this so that, because I've already dumped all my income into XP, now I'm going to be rerolling. I'm going to at the very least be looking to make my board here at on level 8. Like I want to 2-star everything. I need to move into more expensive frontliners. I want to move into the high tier brawlers and Vanguard units. And I haven't even found them yet, much less had the chance to upgrade them. But like I said, I'm going to be here at level 8. I'm going to be re-rolling on level 8, so I think there's some logic to doing this. Now, the other rationale for why I want to take this is due to the changes in the unit pools that are here in this revamped set 3. So this is not the same, what's the term that the developers use? They use the term bag size for the total number of champions in the kind of the pool that everybody shares. If you're familiar with Teamfight Tactics, there's a good chance you already know that everybody pulls units from the same pool in this game. So, like, there's only so many Jins, right? There's not an infinite number of Jins. And for every Jin that I take out of the pool, that's one less Jin for everybody else to take out of the pool. It's actually a very key feature to the way the game is balanced, in the sense that the more people that are playing the same comp, the harder it is for each of them to hit. And there's a real incentive to trying to play an uncontested comp because you're going to have better odds to see those units. In this lobby, I'm the only one playing this sniper's build. No one else is playing that. By the way, here is a fight where you're going to see the effects of being up against an Infiltrator's player. This is the other win-streaking player in the lobby, Fuming. But you can see it's an Infiltrator's board. That means Shaco jumps to the back line at the start of the round. And you can see he just proceeds to murder all my units. Now, if Kate lines up her ult and hits the Shaco, I win the round. Again, a lot of RNG in these rounds, but she does not, so I just instantly lose the round. And there's very little I can do about that. That Shaco is just too strong, and You're just going to kill my entire team, and there's no really way to protect the backline except boxing up in the corner. But there's no way to know that I need to be in the corner because I don't know that I'm going to hit an infiltrator's board ahead of time. The odds are only 1 in 3. In fact, I actually could have gone up against that board for like the last 4 rounds, and I finally hit them. So as I said, the positioning, it's a little bit frustrating. I am going to go ahead and take a frontline tank item here with my Young and Wild and Free. There's a Thresh on the carousel with a belt. Thresh is a 5-cost unit. This, again, denies the rest of the lobby the chance to take Thresh, and also gives me a frontline item, which I desperately need for my board. There was a Teemo there, and I do want to play Teemo later on because he's also a sniper. But my more pressing need at the moment is frontline, so I'm going to look to go ahead and play that. Okay, so Vanguard units, I'm going to put Wukong in. Wukong gives me another rate of chrono trait, so that's kind of nice. I've hit the 2-star Vayne. I thought I'd roll down here to like 30-ish gold because I did want to try to hit some of these units. All right, we hit the 2-star Bard. I was actually looking at kind of a cheat sheet here that was suggesting you play Bard with this team composition. So I was grabbing Bards, but it turns out that I never quite managed to find a way to get Bard into this board. He would give me Astro trait, but which is a nice trait to have, but I don't quite have a way to get him in here yet, because I want to run the 2 Brawler and the 2 Vanguard, and I think that the 2 Chrono is pretty nice as well. Anyway, I did move my carry items over to Jhin. Once again, this is an Infiltrator's board, so what happens? The Infiltrators jump on my back line, and everything dies. Yep, my front line is just meaningless. All my carry units just die immediately. Kind of frustrating, as I said. All right, anyway, to get back to my previous point, though, that I didn't have a chance to finish before. Prismatic Ticket, why take this? As I said, first reason was I'm already level 8. I'm going to be re-rolling. It's going to allow me to hit my board. Other reason, the bag size changes. So all the units come out of the same shared pool. Like I said, the more Jhins I have, the harder it is for other people to hit Jhin. Traditionally, the bag size has been pretty small, and it actually got smaller in set 10, the one that we're currently playing right now. Actually got them a bit smaller. So in set 10 right now, the 4-cost units, that's what Jhin is, a 4-cost. Teemo's also a 4-cost. Wukong's also a 4-cost. And Gnar, who I just put on my board, is also a 4-cost. In set 10, there are only 10 copies of all of these units. So, you know, if you want to 2-star them, you need 3 copies. That's 3 out of 10. So there's enough for like 2 people to play the comp reasonably comfortably. If you try to get up to 3 people playing the comp, it starts to get very uncomfortable. And again, it's one of the self-balancing aspects of the set is the more people try to play it, the harder it is for everybody to hit those units. And the smaller bag sizes have actually worked really well in set 10. It's part of the reason why the set's been reasonably well balanced overall. I think the set balance has been better than in a lot of the other sets. That said, this is not set 10. This is the reworked version of set 3. And the developers wanted this to be more of a for fun mode, for lack of better options. So they initially said, we're going to make it so everyone can play any comp that they want. We're going to increase the bag size to 50. 50 of every champion. That's what they said they're going to do. 50 copies of every one. This turned out to be a total disaster on the public beta environment, on the PvE. It just didn't work because everybody could play the exact same comp with no contesting. It didn't matter what anyone else was playing. So you would see like 4 people forcing the exact same comp in every single lobby, and they could all hit. Or 5 people, or 6 people. It wasn't very good. It really wasn't what you wanted. So they did back off that a little bit. They changed it so the cheap units still have 50 copies. So the Shaco that person is playing on their Infiltrators board, that's a 3-cost unit, there's 50 Shacos in the pool. So as many people can play Shaco as they want, and they're all going to be able to hit if they're just patient enough. They will all be able to 3-star if they want to. By the way, here, I'm trying to allocate some of my other items. I'm going to take this sword. I'm actually going to make a Deathblade on Jhin. It's a very good item on Jhin, from what I remember. And then I'm going to try to put some other items on Teemo. So I'm going to go ahead and make a Static Shiv for lack of better options. Teemo does magic damage. Also a Rage Blade. And then we'll just put this vest on the Wukong. But anyway, so the cheap units, they all have 50 copies. The 1, 2, and 3 cost units all have 50 copies in. The 4 and 5 cost units, they have set them to 20 copies. 20. So that's still way more than in the default set. You can imagine if you're trying to 2-star your units, which takes 3 out of the pool, and there's 20 copies, that's what, like 5 or 6 people can theoretically play the board. So that still makes it way easier to hit than in the standard board. And when you have Prismatic Ticket like this, the goal is to reroll and hit 3 costs. And I think I have pretty good odds of being able to reroll and hit the 3-cost Jhin or 3-cost Teemo, or some kind of 4-cost some kind of 4-cost 3-star unit. So I am playing 4 of them here in the lobby. I'm playing, like I said, I'm playing Wukong and I'm playing Gnar. They're both frontliners. Wukong is a Vanguard, so he gets armor, and Gnar is a Brawler, so he gets the extra health. I'm also playing Jin, who's a 4-cost, and I'm playing Teemo, who's a 4-cost. So 4-cost units. I'm going to try to stay over 50 gold and slow roll for these 4-costs. And I think I have pretty good odds to 3-star at least one of them. Because they, like I said, there's just so many copies of all of them in the pool. Like, normally what happens is by the way, once again, Shaco just jumps on the back line and instantly my entire carries die. Wow, what fun this is. The only way to win this fight is to be boxed in the corner, but I have no way of knowing if this is the team I'm going to be up against. So, wow, what fun this is. Yeah, you see, I just get absolutely run over. Even though my board quality is about equal to this player, I just die instantly. Cool. That was fun. But anyway, so like normally if you're going for a 4-cost 3-star, it gets harder and harder to hit because there's just not many copies of the unit left in the pool. Imagine if I'm going for a 3-star 4-cost in set 10, for example. If I'm trying to hit, I don't know, what's a 4-cost unit in the current set? Wow, now my mind's in set 3 mode, and I'm struggling to remember the units that are in the current set. Anyway, but like if I'm trying to 3-star one of them, there's only 10 copies. So, yeah, or something. Okay, so Ezreal, there's a unit that's a 4-cost. If I'm trying to 3-star Ezreal in the current set, once I get up to like 7 copies, there's only 3 copies left and the entire pool. So it gets really hard to hit. You know, when I get to 8, there's only 2 copies left if I'm trying to get that 9th copy. But in this set, there's 20 copies, so it's way, way, way easier. You know, if I have 8 Jins, well, like right now I have 5 Jins. Instead of there being 5 left, there's 15 of them left. So it's actually pretty easy to hit them. And the word is that this is kind of the way people have been winning the lobbies here in the revamped version of set 3.5, is people are just trying to 3-star 4-cost units. So that it synergizes really well with the prismatic ticket because I get a billion rerolls. And then I also just have I think I have pretty good odds to be able to 3-star one of these 4-cost units. All right, my first instinct was grab the Xerath with the Thief's Glove. Xerath is a 5-cost unit, so that'll get me 5 gold plus a Thief's Glove that I could slap on somebody. Probably one of my frontliners. I would put it on Gnar, probably. But then I see there's actually a Celestial emblem here, so I'm going to take that, and it's going to give my team Celestial trait, which is quite nice. This is a trait that gives everybody on the team Omnivamp. Global Omnivamp, 15% Omnivamp for the entire team. So I can put this on anybody. I think I put it on the Gnar just because why not? Somebody's got to have it. I guess I think it does give 20 magic resistance, so it's better on a frontline unit. So again, I'm just rolling here. I'm trying to hit the 2-star Teemo. If you're wondering why I went below 30 gold, when I went below 50 gold, is I was trying to hit the Teemo here because I have 2 out of 3. There we go. So now I think I'm going to try to get back up to the 50 gold again. But I did want to try to hit the Teemo because I had 2 out of 3, and Teemo is my other itemized carry. So we have managed to 2-star most of our key units. Jin's 2-starred, Teemo's 2-starred, Wukong's 2-starred. Do need one more Gnar. And then I'm just going to try to hit gonna do my best to try to hit these units. By the way, Jin goes down to absolutely no health. But now that Harm Assist and the Celestial trait kicks in, he starts healing back for damage dealt. And he's going to kill this person. By the way, we're down to just 3 players in the lobby like that. Remember what I said about these lobbies sometimes having a mix of player skill levels. So yeah, it's just going to be me and these other 2 teams. And by the way, both of them are playing Infiltrators here. Yeah, both of them playing Infiltrators. So one person is Celestial Darkstar Infiltrator. The other person is Space Pirate Monoreeve Infiltrator. So I was like, all right, well, what I've got to do here is I've got to box up. Longtime players know when you're up against Assassins, what do? You box up your carries, put them in the corners. In theory, I should maybe put them up on the front lines, but they do have enough non-infiltrators that I can't put them up all the way on the front lines. But here we go. So Wukong stands up front alone, Jin in the corner, Teemo in the other corner. There are no Blitzcranks on the board. I had to be very careful to make sure there were no Blitzcranks there. And then I decided I'm going to sell the Bard because I don't see how I get Bard on this board. If I went to level 9, I could play Bard. I could probably look to play Bard and then maybe also try to find a way to get Lulu on the board, who is a Celestial plus Mystic unit, which would be quite nice to get in. But I don't see how that ever happens. I think my game plan is stay at level 8. We're not going to 9. We're going to stay at 8. We're going to slow roll for Jin 3-star, Teemo 3-star. There we go. So 5 Jins, 5 Teemo, or no, 4 Teemos. God, I got the Gnar and the Teemo confused. They look so much alike. I am also not picking up the Ashes or the Veins. I could absolutely pick them up, but I'm not going to. They are not itemized, so 3-starring them is not really going to do that much. I want my income to go towards 3-starring the 4-cost units. My 4-cost units. Those are the ones that I'm itemizing. So even though I probably could hit 3-star Ash and 3-star Vayne, I want to go for the 4-star 3-cost. Now, maybe this is a little bit meme territory, I guess, but I don't have enough income to try to hit all of these units. I can concentrate on the 3-costs or I can concentrate on the 4-costs. And I'm going to concentrate on the 4-costs. All right. One more item. I actually would like a frontline item here, but I didn't like any of the options there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Spear of Shojin because it's going to let Teemo cast more often. All right, while we have a minute here, we should at least cover what these units do. So first I'm going to cover the Jhin. Jhin is a very unusual unit. He actually has no mana. He just he uses his ability after he attacks 4 times. So no mana cost, no mana bar. He just uses his ability after 4 auto attacks. He also does not get any additional attack speed. His passive is he converts attack speed into additional attack damage. So he always attacks at the same speed, but he converts attack speed into attack damage. And then every 4th shot, he deals a huge amount of extra damage. He does like quadruple damage on his last shot. By the way, that fight was close, but couldn't overcome the Shaco. Yeah, 3-star Shaco, lots of fun there. He just blinks around. Anyway, there's another Jhin. I'm actually on 7 Jhins already, so that's pretty nice. So we're just going to keep rolling until we get down to 50 gold, and then we'll stop there. All right, we'll stop there. So yeah, 7 Jhins. I'm really hoping I can hit the Jhin 3-star. So anyway, Jhin, like I said, 4 attacks, then he uses his ability. His 4th shot does not auto crit. That was from set 6, not this set, but it does deal a boatload of extra damage. Then Teemo is my other carry. So Teemo, his ability is called Satellite Traps. Teemo scatters 3 traps around the nearest enemy. When an enemy is close to a trap or after 3 seconds, it explodes, deals damage to nearby enemies, knocks them down, and slows them for 3 seconds. So he tosses out little Teemo traps. It's actually quite adorable. By the way, Jhin surviving on no HP. Is that going to be enough to win this fight? Looks like Jin's still up, Teemo's still up. Wow, what a close fight this one was again. I mean, you can see how if they're not in the corners, they just die instantly. It's quite silly. Anyway, so Teemo throws down traps. They do area of effect damage, and they slow the target. So now we're up to 5 Teemos. Just going to continue slowly rolling here. I suppose I could take the other 4-costs out of the pool, but with 20 copies, taking like Aurelia's out of the pool is not going to do anything. I wouldn't have enough bench space for that anyway. So we're on... God, these units look so much alike. 7 Jhins, 5 Teemos, and then 4 Wukongs, 4 Nars. We're just going to keep holding these, and, you know, I want to stay over 50 gold as long as possible. If it does look like I'm about to die, I might have to just roll it down, though, and give up my econ in exchange for trying to hit these units. But we'll see. For the moment, I have 47 HP. The early game win streak is really crucial because it preserved a lot of health. And wow, that fight was not even close. Not even close. That person is basically playing the legendary soup. They got to level 9, and now they're just playing lots and lots of legendary units. They have like a 2-star Aurelian Soul. I thought I saw a 2-star Gangplank over there, maybe 1-star Gangplank. They're just basically playing all the 5-cost units, which is always a popular setup here. All right, nothing too amazing on this carousel here. I didn't see anything. I really wanted a frontline item, so I'll take the only kind of good frontline item in Gargoyle's Stoneplate. By the way, all the items have their stats from set 10. They do not have their stats from set 3, and like some of the items that existed in set 3 are no longer around, so they are not here. We'll just put this on Wukong because he's our itemized tank. There's another Wukong. I mean, we could maybe hit Wukong 3-star too. That wouldn't be the worst thing. So just going to keep rolling here. And, okay. I end up rolling. I guess I ended up rolling a little bit further here. Oh, I think it's because I was getting so low. I decided I would roll here because I was starting to get low on HP. And I am also on 8 Jhins. It's like, can I hit the last Jhin? Come on, one more Jhin? Maybe? Pretty please? There's another Gnar. Okay, I guess I have to stop here. Yeah, I was hoping, I was like, I know I'm getting very low here. I think I need to start sacrificing that econ in the hopes of hitting one of these units. Okay, so I want 8 Jhins. Just need the one more Jhin. Unfortunately, my Jhin kind of gets popped, so it's going to be up to Teemo to carry this fight. Can we deal with the Shaco? The Shaco is 3-starred. And Teemo trap! Boom! Down goes the Jhin. Or the Shaco, excuse me. So yeah, again, that's why I have my carries on both sides, is the Shaco can jump to one of the 2 sides, but he can't hit both sides. Going to have to hit one side or the other. All right, that's 6 Wukongs. That's 7 Teemos. Getting close here. I am running out of econ. Can we find the Jhin? There's another Wukong. That's 7 Wukongs. Can we hit this? Come on, a lot of rerolls. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'll drop the Nars. There we go, 3-star Jin. Alrighty then. And I am on 7 Teemos, 7 Wukong, so I'm not far off on either of those. So the strategy basically did work. Like I said, I had a plan, and I was able to follow through. I do think that this was the right way to go, given that I had Prismatic Ticket. And yeah, now I have a 3-star Jin. So Jin, 3-star Jin, does a lot of damage. He's kind of killing everything in one shot. His you might notice his 4th shot deals like some absolutely insane amount of damage. He was dealing like 20,000 damage on his 4th shot. So his 4th shot just kills anything instantly. And he has quite good items as well. The other thing that's nice is the Harm Assist heals him. Remember, he gets healing from Harm Assist trait. Or he Harm Assist Augment, plus the Celestial trait I have in. So if he does 20,000 damage on each shot, yeah, he's going to heal to full every single time he uses his ultimate. Again, there was no Harm Assist trait or Harm Assist Augment when this was originally created. So some of the balancing things are a little bit wonky here because like some of these augments were not around when the set was originally created. Anyway, though, so we're gonna get we're actually gonna go to stage 7 here, and yeah, hopefully the Jin can just continue carrying me. But I have a chance to roll a bit more. 2 more Teemos, 2 more Wukongs. Excuse me. Oh, there's another Teemo. 8 Teemos. Can I hit another Wukong here? There's Nar. Okay, I sold my Nars. I wasn't that close. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. That's 3-star Teemo. So yeah, Teemo's traps now do like infinite damage. And let's just make sure we're all boxed up in the corner here. Now, the hilarious thing would be is if this other player suddenly like put a Blitzcrank on their board. I checked. They do not have a Blitzcrank on their board. They probably should just stuff a Blitz on their board so they could pull the Jin. It's probably the only way they can win. I mean, their board is super strong. As you see me take the Onyx Spark. They have 2-star Gangplank, 2-star Aurelian Soul. I think they have a 2-star Thresh on their board. They have an Echo popping around. Those are all 5-cost units. But, I mean, I've got 2 3-star 4-costs. Yeah, Jin did 35,000 damage. Teemo did 14,000. It was not close, as you would expect. So now I'm looking for the last Wukong. I have 8 Wukongs as well. If I can get one more Wukong. Yeah, there's the 2-star Thresh. Again, their board is pretty strong, but, I mean, it's not going to beat, 3-star 4-cost. 21,000 physical damage on that 4th attack. Yeah, they just quit the lobby. I'm a little disappointed. I would have liked one more round to monkey around there, but oh well. I'll take the first. And yeah, it was a game where things came together. I had a plan. It worked out. 3-star Jin, 3-star Teemo for the win. Now, I don't think I'm going to be playing too much of this set. A lot of the mechanics really have not aged particularly well, particularly some of the positioning aspects. I think set 10 is a much better set, but I guess it's kind of fun to go back and look at this. Even though the set 3 was not one of my favorite sets, I guess it's still kind of neat to look back in time a bit. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, I hope everybody's having a great week. Take care, and I'll see you guys again soon.